Today's Saints Happy Hour, we are going to get to the bottom of whose fault it is that Alvin Kamara might not be on the 2026 Saints. Is it Mickey Loomis? Is it Alvin Kamara? Or is it Kevin? Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. We always have a source.
Dave remains quiet because he continues to search for that he can't find.
Oh, what did Nola Fredo say?
Yeah, try to get saved by Nola Fredo. That's a great strategy.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. As always, we are presented to you by Hard Hide, Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey, and Bev Test's best flavored whiskey of 2025, Chilton County Peach. I'm Ralph Marlboro. Kevin's with me. Thomas running the show back in Poland. Leave a comment. It helps us out, and it doesn't cost you anything. And go to patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour. Become a patron. It's amazing. You should support the show. We need all the help we can get. Thomas doesn't want to be left homeless walking the streets of Warsaw or whatever country bumpkin town he lives in Poland. All right.
Walking the fields,
Kevin.
sleeping in the fields.
Sleeping in the wheat fields on a park bench. So, Kevin, this week with the Saints, and a lot of Alvin Kamara news. Jeff Duncan, a.k.a. that hoe, according to Michael Thomas, he wrote a column that's, laying out that Alvin Kamara has been kind of really bad the last couple of years by advanced metric. Thomas, I sent you that screenshot. You can put that up there. And listen, it's not pretty.
No.
Alvin Kamara data. But Alvin Kamara, before we get to all of it, his stats are bad. Like, he only had one 20-yard run in the last 3 seasons. Ardrick Estime did that in week 10 last year all by himself, and Eskimo in 46 attempts. And he's one of the 10 highest paid running backs. So, he's not producing commensurate with what they pay him. But here's my thing. Here's the thing I want to start with. Jeff Duncan wouldn't have written that column if the Saints didn't want that column written, right? That call came from inside the house. I don't know, the Saints are having a PR battle with Kamara because Kamara went on the set with Teron Armstead. He's like, I'm excited to play with Achane, and it's going to be 1-2 punch. It's going to be fun. Here's where I come down on this. I know the fans, we always want to direct our ire at Mickey Loomis. He's our whipping boy, right? Anything we don't like about the Saints, roster move, decision-wise, draft pick, trade up, whatever, we blame Mickey. But here's the thing, Kevin. When, in Mickey Loomis' entire time as Saints general manager, when has he ever dictated a roster decision to a coach? He doesn't. This is Kellen Moore, in my opinion, not really wanting Alvin Kamara on this roster. And Mickey Loomis is playing the heavy. He's going to be the bad guy. And the Saints are kind of tiptoeing around it. Alvin Kamara is a legend, and they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and they can't really win the PR war. My thing is, this is kind of unnecessary. If you don't want him on the team, just say it. I don't like this, really, won't he? Are they going to make him take a pay cut? And it just drags on and on and on. Nut up and make a decision on it. It's great for content for us because we get to talk about it, but it is a little bit exhausting. I wish they would come to a resolution. But who do you blame most in this in this Alvin Kamara saga? Do you blame Loomis? Do you blame Kellen Moore? Do you blame Alvin Kamara for not being willing to take a pay cut from being a top 10 paid running back when he's not performing like one? Who do you blame most for the quagmire we are in with Alvin Kamara?
My default setting in life in general. and listen, I know you're going to try and dance around this, but I know you're secretly on my side. I know you're on my side because I can see, I've seen what you've tweeted today. Okay? And I'll reference that. My default setting in life in life is side with the worker. Side with the worker. Don't side with management. Don't side with the team. Don't side with the owner. Don't side with the GM. Side with the player.
Kevin the communist.
Exactly. I have some pamphlets for y'all. And I know Ralph has a pamphlet somewhere because earlier today when we recorded this, he was tweeting about how Christian Miller is holding out to try and get more money, and that's another second-round player trying to get more money, and good for them. That's Ralph tweeting that, okay?
That is me. That's
Ralph, staunch capitalist.
That's right.
Endorsing the workers, seizing the means of production.
That's right.
Okay? For all y'all who want to just, tell me I'm, running around in my Che Guevara shirt or whatever. I've never owned a Che Guevara shirt, for the record. However, I will put Kamara. I'll give Kamara 5% of the blame. That's maybe as much as you could talk me. You could talk me into going as high as 10. But for the most part, 5% of the blame on Kamara, just because, look, I get it. Production doesn't match what we pay you, but sometimes you're being paid for what you've done. And I get it. It's in the sports sphere. It's, we're paying you for what we think you're going to do or what we hope you can do or what we want you to do. And he's not living up to that. The hope would be, you would hope Kamara would look at that and say, okay, give me a slight cut. He could take a minimal cut and come out looking like a good guy while still getting overpaid for his position. Okay, fine. There's your 5%. The rest of it, I'll go 50. I'll go 50% Kellen Moore. No, I'll switch it. I'll go 50% Mickey Loomis. He wants to be the bad cop. Okay, fine. And I'll go 45% Kellen Moore.
That's fair.
I agree with you. I agree with you that if they want to just tiptoe around this and sort of drag this out and they just want to look like they're playing nice until they either cut him post June 1st or whatever, just, you could just say you're going to do that, take all the lumps now, and then be done with it. Like, I get it. This is he's going to be a Saints Hall of Famer. You could argue that his number should be
team history. Right.
You could argue his number should be hung up in the dome. All of that. And you're going to catch hell if and when you part ways with him if it's before he retires, if you part ways with him. So why not just rip the Band-Aid off and say, yeah, we're going to get rid of him post June 1st or whatever the plan is in order to save the team some kind of money somewhere so we can make other moves. It doesn't really
save him any money. I don't think it only saves him like $300,000 even post June 1st. I don't think it's a money issue. And my attitude, I agree with you in this sense, Kevin, is I'm always for the player. I love Kamara. I would want him to retire a Saint. It's not my money. The cap is fine. Who gives a shit? Pay him. He's Alvin Kamara. He deserves it. We love him. I want to see him retire a Saint. That is a justifiable position to have. And I think in my heart, that's what I would want them to do. Because I don't want it having him have one more ride with this potentially good Saints team. Maybe he could be productive again. I don't necessarily believe that argument because running backs post 30, they don't really do that. So I don't necessarily believe that argument, but I would want to believe it. My thing is is the Saints, I believe, have looked at his production. Go back and watch the first Carolina game. Kamara was terrible. His pass protection was terrible. His running, he made 2 wrong cuts on a screen. Should have been a house call. He messed it up. It was only a 30-yard gain or something. He's been bad, right? So that's the issue. I feel like the Saints and Kellen, like they give me the sense of they don't want him around. Like if Kellen Moore had said after they signed Achane, they were like, "Oh, this is going to be a two-headed monster. We have plans for Alvin. Of course, Alvin's going to be on the team, and we'll work the finances, but he's going to be a part of this team." The Saints have been saying, "Well, we'll have to see how it goes. We love Alvin. We'll have to see how the offseason plays out." Mickey Loomis has kind of said the same thing. I just don't believe that if Kellen Moore said, "I need Alvin Kamara on this team," this wouldn't even be an issue, right? So I just put the blame for all of this, most of it, on Kellen Moore. I don't blame really Kamara. You could blame it for his lack of production. You can blame it, but he's getting older and all that. But this whole situation, I'm not in my life, Kevin. I ain't taking no pay cut. You ain't taking no pay cut, so I don't blame him for that. I think if you sliced up blame, I would slice it up like 90% Kellen Moore,
Okay,
7% Mickey Loomis, and like 3% Alvin Kamara. Like I don't necessarily think it's Mickey Loomis or Alvin Kamara at all. I just think Kellen Moore is looking at it as like, I want to flip over this roster. Kellen Moore, and here's the thing: people are like, well, Alvin Kamara has been injured 2 years, and that's why the Saints are playing hardball with him over his injuries and pay cut. You know who else has been injured for 2 years, Kevin? Eric McCoy. I don't see the Saints pulling this shit with Eric McCoy and being like, well, I don't know if Eric McCoy is going to be on the team and we'll have to see and all that. No. None of that, not a pay cut. Now, granted, they don't have a replacement for him like the Saints have Achane with Kamara.
right.
But that just leads me back to my point of this is a coaching decision with Kamara. If Kellen Moore wants him, he'll be on the team. And I just don't think the Saints really want Kamara on the team, and they were kind of hoping that he would make the decision for them. And good on him. He's like, nah, I got guaranteed $3 million. I want my full pay. I'm gonna come to camp. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be happy. Y'all be the best. I'm not gonna make this easy for y'all. And good on him. But
He should do that. That's what he should say.
And the thing is, Alvin Kamara is so likable and so beloved. Part of me understands why the Saints are very hesitant to do this and very hesitant to make definitive statements in the media, because you are not defeating Alvin Kamara in a PR war. You're not gonna do it.
Like, what does it say about how good and likable he is and how beloved he is? Like, it's also a case of, look, Mickey Loomis was the bad guy for the DA years and even into.
Somehow he got blamed for Davenport, the Davenport trade,
and even part of Kellen Moore's start of Kellen Moore's tenure. I think Mickey might finally be pulling up out of that giant dive he was in, but he was the bad guy. But what does it say about how beloved Alvin Kamara is that I'll say all, even though I'm sure there might be some random clown somewhere, but all of Saints fandom is behind Alvin Kamara on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's one of those things where, look, when the time comes, when the team parts ways, or either the team's going to part ways with him, or he's going to stay with the team, and somehow, like, I can't see the team keeping him and paying him what he's making now. I can't.
here's my thing, and you have kind of changed my mind. I was coming into this. We were talking on the pregame, and we were going to having our opposing views. I think you've changed my mind in this sense. Is the more we dive into it, and the more I think about it, and I either peel away the layers of the onion or whatever, however analogy you want to use. Okay. The thing that just hit me is, if the Saints release him and he goes to Denver or wherever for one more year, and it's sad, and he's old, and he's broken down, and he gets hurt, and then next February he announces retirement, like, that'll make me really sad, and I don't want that. Like, if that's gonna happen, I want it here. I want it with the people, the fans that love him. Like, like, to Denver and breaks down and has a bad season, or they'll boo his ass. We'll just be like, I don't like the money. It's not my money. I don't give a shit. I want his final act here.
Right.
And that's kind of where I land. Like, I've sort of changed my mind on it.
It'll mean more when he scores his final touchdown, the final home game, the final whatever. All of that shit will mean more if he is still with the team. Like, let's say he gets traded. Hang on. I know the schedule isn't coming out this week. It's next week. But I want to see the opponents. So I'm looking up the non-division opponents here. So Cardinals, Browns, Packers, Raiders, Vikings, Steelers, Ravens, Bears, Bengals, Lions, Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he got traded to one of them.
Ugh.
And let's say let's say
he caught him and he signs with one of them. Yeah.
Yes, or signs. Sorry. So actually, the Saints' home opponent. So Cardinals, Browns, Raiders, Vikings, Steelers, Packers. Jesus, that's okay. Let's say he gets signed by one of them. He's going to come into the Dome, and it's just not going to be the same. Like, he'll get cheered.
I'll be physically
sick. Cheered. But it's just not going to be the same.
No,
it's not going to be the same warm and fuzzy feelings. You talking about it would feel wrong if he goes somewhere else. Pick your team. If he goes somewhere else and he either does exactly the same thing he did last year, or somehow does worse, goes under 400 yards, just one touchdown again, catches like for 150 yards and just meanders. You're gonna have that whole fan base, sports talk guys on the radio, the columnists. It's gonna be like, hey, take that couch. We found that couch has bed bugs in it. Wrap it up in plastic, throw it in a dumpster, or take it out in the middle of nowhere and set it on fire. All this kind of stuff. Whereas if he stays here and he even does the same, at least we're like, I had, when I got my first apartment, I had a couch that I got from a mutual friend of ours, from WWL TV. I got this couch in 2004. I kept this couch until I moved into this house that I am in. And I moved in this house in 2010. And that couch was already a decade old before I even got it.
Many doctors sat on that couch.
Many doctors did. Well, actually, no, not too many doctors sat on the couch. The doctors have sat on the couch I have now, which is really more of a futon couch. But whatever. The point is, and actually the futon couch is something I got from somebody else. But the point is, there's wear and there's lumps and there's things that are in there. There's like ass grooves that are in there that I know about the ass grooves. Those are my ass grooves. I can rotate it around and, like, you know, sort of try and soften it around a little. But that's mine. That's my mattress. Those are my ass grooves.
Yes.
I don't want somebody from Pittsburgh or Denver or Green Bay trying to be like, hey, whose ass grooves are these? No. Stay in New Orleans. Let's hope that Mickey and Kellen, because like you said, I'm sure this is predominantly Kellen, but I'm still going to throw most of the blame on Mickey because, hey, whatever.
It feels good.
Yeah. Let's hope that they can just go to Kamara and say, listen, we're not going to insult you by asking you to take this kind of a pay cut, but we're going to try and restructure. Like, can't they restructure his deal? So he takes a little bit less money now, and just instead of these void years that he's got for guaranteed money, can't they just rearrange this so that way
they can do what they did with Cam, where they say, look, you have $3 million guaranteed this year, and if you hit certain amount of catches, certain amount of yards, certain amount of touchdowns, you can earn most of it back. And Cam did that last year. Remember, like, Cam was all excited because he's like, hey, that was $1 million. Like, right? Because he got over 10 sacks and all that. So they could do that. Here's where I end, Kevin.
Yeah.
Is you've changed my mind. Like I was just like, well, I was like, it's just time and the Saints want to move on. I don't know what to tell you. But you've changed my mind. I'm firmly back in he's got to stay. And this is why I land on that. Last year against the Jets, the Saints, clearly, Kellen Moore went out of his way to be like, we got to get Taysom a touchdown. Like, he's not going to say that it's his final game, and we get that he's not quite decided. But he threw that touchdown, and everybody there, the players, the stadium, they knew what it was, right? We knew what it was, and Taysom was in tears after the game. And listen, Taysom last year, it was a struggle, right? Because he completely blew out his knee. He wasn't the same goal line, short yardage cheat code that he had been, right? And the Saints, because of that, because Taysom wasn't his normal superhero self in short yardage and in the goal line, the Saints struggled in that area big time, and it was frustrating all year. But all that said, we didn't boo Taysom. We didn't want him put out to pasture. We kind of celebrated his last year. And that Jets moment was one of my favorite moments of the entire year, even with the end of the year with Shuck being great and all the excitement and optimism in the future. That moment of Taysom throwing that touchdown and then being emotional after the game, like, I want that from Kamara. As a fan, right, as my nostalgia, as I get old, I get emotional, I care about winning, but for me, the Saints and my enjoyment with the Saints is more than about winning, and it's about moments and feeling things and memories, and I want it. And I don't want the Saints to shuffle off Kamara. I don't give a damn about the money. I don't give a damn about the performance. You have changed my mind completely, Kevin.
Look, I'm trying to think how to say it. Again, this is one of those cases where I wish I could just, like, take this, put it in here, and then take it out, and then just give it to everybody else so you would just know what's going on. I wish that if he stays here, I don't expect him to have 800 yards rushing. I don't expect him to have 700 yards rushing. I don't even expect him to have 6. But, well, especially because he'd be taking a back seat to Travis. So let's say it's 550 yards catching. Let's say it's 250 receiving, but let's say he gets 3-4 touchdowns. And let's say you get all 3 or 4 of them in the dome. Mm-hmm. That would be the great scenario. Like let's say the last week of the season, the Saints are home. They're hosting. It's a division game.
Yeah.
The Saints are playing for a playoff spot. Kamara gets a touchdown, whether it's rushing or receiving. Kamara gets a touchdown in the 4th. That puts the Saints ahead. And the Saints hold on to win. And the Saints can ride into the playoffs, and come what may, they can get the doors blown off of them in the postseason. It's whatever. Just get to the playoffs. Right. But he gets a touchdown in the final game of the season at home, division opponent, gets you to the playoffs. And at that point, you can have the presser, the week or two after they're eliminated, where he's got his big golf shirt on, and he's, he'll have done 10 full seasons with the same team. He can, retire or do whatever. And everybody's happy.
That's right.
Everybody's happy.
We're
all rooting. We all want the good ending. We want the happy ending.
And I am willing to risk the bad, bumpy, not so fun ending with the Saints. Like it's with us. It's with us. We love him, and that's what I want. And if he's injured again or he's a struggle and blah blah blah, that's fine. Like I'm willing to accept that downside, because I don't want to see Alvin Kamara in another uniform.
Right.
I just don't want it. And the thing is, that's how I feel. And like, I know sometimes fans are ruthless. They want to move on and all this, but I do think I'll land on this, Kevin. I don't think what me and you want, we just described, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Saints want to move off him. And you can scream that it's unfair, and you can scream that he's a legend, and you can say what we just said about happy endings, or we don't want him playing on another team. I'm not sure the Saints feel that way. And I would say if I had to put, let's end, you started with percentage of blame. I'll end on this. Give me your percentage of chance Alvin Kamara is on the 2026 Saints, percentage that he's not on the 2026 Saints.
He's on the roster for week 1 of the regular season.
Yeah, like 60% chance. What?
I think 60-40 that he's not.
Ooh, see, I think I hate the fact. I like the fact that you changed my mind. You did a good job.
I'm still being pessimistic.
I like the fact that you changed my mind, but then you come back and you're like, yeah, 60% chance he's not on the roster. Like I feel like I've just accepted and trying to be clinical and all that. Like I've given that up, and I want to be emotional about it, and I want him on the roster, and I think we're both in that same place. But I think you've not only have you convinced me, but I just think logic says that, like, something tells me the Saints just don't want him on the roster. Kellen Moore doesn't want him on the roster, and they don't want to say it, and they're hoping that some kind of like magical solution happens in June and they don't have to be the bad guy. But I don't think that's going to happen.
They've got look, Kendra Miller is still an injury issue. He's a coin flip to make the team anyway. Neal, he's hurt right now. He has a decent shot of making the team, but you've got Estime, And they picked up an Ohio State running back who he's got good numbers. You could, again, this is why I'm saying 60-40, he's not with the team. You can have Estime, or you can have Achane, Estime, Neal, and Donaldson as your running backs, and you can see what you've got with Neal and Donaldson, and sort of just move on. Like I can see that happening.
Yeah. No, I do, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I was prepared to come on this show and say that the Saints, it's all right if they move on. It's Kellen Moore's team. He can build the roster how he wants, and we got to move forward. I was here to give you that whole spiel, Kevin, and you convinced me to go the other way. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. If you found us on the YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go to patreon.com/Saints Happy Hour and support us. It's amazing. You should do it. Thomas, as always, running the show back in Poland, best producer on earth. For Kevin, for Thomas, I'm Ralph. Until next time, the bar is closed.